I realized I don't think I ever did a full video talking about my computer and what's inside it. So let's do that right now. So here is my computer. I built this in August of 2025, and it was early August, so I've had it for nearly 3 months now. And so let's begin on it. And let's tell you. So first, my motherboard is an Asus Prime B650 plus Wi-Fi. Yes, I went with the lowest rated AM5 motherboard. That was stupid of me. I didn't realize that at the time. And looking back, I wish I did more research on my parts before buying it, because some other ones like the cooler and GPU were not the greatest either. We'll get into that later in this video. When it gives out on me, I'm going to go for a B851 with more PCIe slots, so then I could have more stuff in it, like USB ports or something. I don't know, I'll figure it out. For my RAM, it's 32 gigabytes of G.Skill Flare DDR5, and yeah, not much else to it. On my PC part picker, this and my motherboard are both much more expensive than what I paid for it now. My motherboard, I paid $160 for it, and the RAM was $100. It was the only RAM I could find at a time that was 32 gigs. That was around $100. But now this is up to $160, and my motherboard is up to $200. So next is my CPU. You can't see it for obvious reasons, but my CPU is a Ryzen 7 9700X. I'm actually really glad I picked it out, because I didn't even realize it was the latest Zen. I was like, oh, it's a Ryzen CPU for under $300, so that's why I went with it. Then the cooler is the only thing, the cooler and the power supply are the two main things off the top of my head that I do not remember. I think it's the Cooler Master Hyper 212. Yeah. Someone told me it was an overpriced cooler. I don't care. It works. Speaking of power supply, I'm going to say it before I forget it. It's the Corsair RME 850 watt E. I don't know. I don't remember. It's something. It is overkill for my build, as it only takes about 420 nice watts. But it allows a lot of room for upgrading. Then for my graphics card is the ASRock RX 7700 XT. And yeah, it's a little bit of an overpriced card, but I got it anyways. I have it now, so I don't care. Then my SAG bracket, this was about $8. Every PC should have one. Now, originally for storage, I was booting off my 500GB generic brand SSD that I took from my laptop. I did that to save time and a bit of money as well. And eventually I was running out of storage, so I took a 1TB hard drive, 2.5-inch hard drive I had lying around, and used that for external storage until one of my online friends, he gave me 3 drives that he had that he wasn't using. That included a Crucial 2TB NVMe that's right under that heatsink, and a Samsung 2TB SSD that's behind here, and I'm too lazy to take off this panel again. Currently, I am using Linux right now, and the NVMe still has Windows on it. I should swap that, because the SSD is off Linux, so I need to change that. Down there, I also have a 256GB NVMe with Windows 11 Pro on it. That was from a failed idea I had. I regret it. Basically, I bought a Windows 11 Pro license OEM, intending to have it where it'd be booting off here with my storage for everything on here. Yeah, and I just switched to Linux, so that was a waste of money. So I lost about $180. Yay. Now for my case. I don't think I ever mentioned, I got the 500GB SSD cloned over to the NVMe under there. Then I upgraded to Windows 11 Home eventually. And yeah, I don't think I mentioned the 2TB SSD is Samsung. Yeah, I did. I'm losing track of everything. In my case is the Fractal AirPop Mid-Tower ATX. I think that's what it's called. I don't remember. I got it because it could have an optical drive. Now this is a little funky because the optical drive I took from an old Dell computer that my family had. And so yeah, this is a Dell optical drive. And yeah, at first I was thinking, it was from the same computer as this hard drive. No, this was from a different hard drive. Or a different PC. My family had an old Dell that had a hard drive with 320 gigabytes of storage on it. And then my family also had an HP that had this in it, and this is 2 terabytes. This I've been trying to put in my server for a while, but I have procrastinated on it. So, yeah. Anyway, this is about my computer. You also may notice that there is no RGB in my build. The closest thing to RGB is a little light on my graphics card right there, which I just keep off. And the reason why I went with no RGB is because it's just simply cheaper. Well, there's also that light coming from that NVMe. I hate it too. But now that I have been using this without RGB, I think I just like it like this. It's going to cost just extra for things that won't really matter. I mean, I still kind of want to do it, but again, it's just going to be extra for what? And it's like if I add fans here with RGB, you're not really going to see it. It's going to be covered up by this. So what would I like to do with my computer? Well, I'd love to add a SD card reader like here or something, or replace my optical drive entirely with one. But all the ones I could find were not the right size, sucked, or both. It's like, I think I made a video about it, but I bought one that was like $30, and it was the cheapest feeling piece of garbage I've ever filled. It probably cost no more than $2 to produce, despite the fact that it was $30. And the thing barely even worked. I returned it, but I don't think I'll be buying from Newegg again. I also intend to get another hard drive for some extra storage, whether that be taking this hard drive and fiddling with my server and putting it in, although I probably wouldn't because of the fact that this hard drive is already really old and I don't know when it's going to fail, if it's going to fail. It's been pretty reliable on me. It's probably about 10 years old and it still works, but then again, the computer that it was in wasn't used for probably about half of that. So I do not know when this hard drive is going to fail on me. And so if I'm going to put a hard drive in my computer and have storage on it, I preferably not want it to be old and possibly fail. I also, like, as I mentioned earlier, I kind of want to get a different motherboard with more PCIe slots. But yeah. I don't think I'll get a new case, as I do like it. It's kind of a sleeper build. It's not really, though. I don't consider it a sleeper build because it has the glass panel. Another thing I want to do is I want to add a capture card for, like, if I want to play my Nintendo Switch 2. Yes, I have a Switch 2 and a computer, or I'm an idiot. Because, like, I do have a cheap $8 one, and I think I made a video about it. Because it sucks. It's a cheap $8 one. But I have 2 free PCIe slots. There's one that's blocked by my graphics card, but I have 2 free, and I'd like to dedicate one to an HDMI capture card and the other to an AV capture card, so if I wanted to play like my Wii or something. I also do want to get a Blu-ray optical drive, as my dad has given me a ton of Blu-rays that he doesn't want, and I cannot play them because I do have a Blu-ray player, but it's like, I do not like watching movies on a TV. And yeah, I could get an adapter, but I have one, my cheap one, that sucks. And I tried it, and it wasn't, like, it was being cheap and sucked on here. So it's like, and I don't see the point of spending money now to spend more later, unless if it's something that I actually, like, need. Like, with the computer, I do not need a Blu-ray optical drive. I can wait. Now let's talk about my peripherals, because there are a couple things I want to change with that, too. These 2 monitors I'm using right here are not meant for my RX 7700 XT. Because that's capable of 1440p, and this is 720p, this is 1080p, both 60 hertz. So why am I using them? Well, because I focused on getting my computer built before peripherals, and I'm fine with the peripherals I have. They work. That's the important thing. But this one is nearly as old as me. It is ancient. And this one is not as old, but is 1080p, 60 hertz. It's not great for gaming, but this is much better than this. This is what I was booting off before. This is what I'm booting off now, and it looks better than this. So yeah, new monitors. Why do I have these then? Well, this one's a monitor that's been sitting around my house for years, and my mom works from home. She got new monitors for her work, and she gave me one of her old ones. I'd want to preferably get like a 1440p, like 300 hertz one. I have one saved on Newegg, but it doesn't have a warranty. I'm not sure if I'll get it then. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I think the keyboard and mouse I'm using is fine. I do not need to upgrade these. They're old, but they're fine. Like, this keyboard is pretty new. It's about 5 years old, but this mouse is pretty old. But I love how ergonomic it feels. I don't care. That's not really a gaming mouse. It's fine. Whoa, how did I get the mouse bigger? Huh, that was weird. However, I do want a new desk, as my current one Yeah, as you can see, there's a ton of stuff on it because there's not really, like, I need one with drawers or shelves or something, and it's kind of a cheap, flimsy desk. Also, new headphones. These headphones I've been using are old and pretty much falling apart. I want to get some good ones. This chair that I'm sitting in, you can hear it. It's pretty much falling apart at this point, and I need a new one, and it's always sucked from the beginning. I also do want to get a better webcam, as this one says that it's 4K, but I doubt that. Do I even have a camera app on here? I don't think I do. Oh, I do. Huh. Let's open it up. I've never used this. But this says it's a 4K camera. It was $60. There's no way in hell it's a 4K camera, as a 1080p camera I gave to one of my friends is actually better. Oh my god, this stupid thing. What is up with it? Okay, it's not gonna work. I can't show you then.